Alright guys, listen, my name is Ezekiel Olaniyo. I am an affiliate business consultant. That's not the point. The point of this video is for me to tell you something incredible that happened. Sometimes last year, December last year, I attended the goal setting session organized by Edwin Edewo. I had a particular financial goal in mind for the whole of 2021, but in less than 3 months, somebody say 3 months, in less than 3 months, I was able to make 7 figures and still counting, right? Recently, I attended a physical event in Lagos, which are some people, incredible folks, and guess what? It was matched. The soap was premium. The soap was premium, and I can't wait to start, I've started taking action already though, so you guys should just expect some incredible results. So whatever Edwin tells you to do, please just do it, because that woman, she sabi, she too sabi this thing. Alright guys, listen, my name is Ezekiel Olaniyo. I am an affiliate business consultant. That's not the point. The point of this video is for me to tell you something incredible that happened. Sometimes last year, December last year, I attended the goal setting session organized by Edwin Edewo. I had a particular financial goal in mind for the whole of 2021, but in less than 3 months, somebody say 3 months, in less than 3 months, I was able to make 7 figures and still counting, right? Recently, I attended a physical event in Lagos, which are some people, incredible folks, and guess what? It was matched. The soap was premium. The soap was premium, and I can't wait to start, I've started taking action already though, so you guys should just expect some incredible results. So whatever Edwin tells you to do, please just do it, because that woman, she sabi, she too sabi this thing. Alright guys, listen, my name is Ezekiel Olaniyo. I am an affiliate business consultant. That's not the point. The point of this video is for me to tell you something incredible that happened. Sometimes last year, December last year, I attended the goal setting session organized by Edwin Edewo. I had a particular financial goal in mind for the whole of 2021, but in less than 3 months, somebody say 3 months, in less than 3 months, I was able to make 7 figures and still counting, right? Recently, I attended a physical event in Lagos, which are some people, incredible folks, and guess what? It was matched. The soap was premium. The soap was premium, and I can't wait to start, I've started taking action already though, so you guys should just expect some incredible results. So whatever Edwin tells you to do, please just do it, because that woman, she sabi, she too sabi this thing.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear my voice? For a very, very, very interesting reason, it seems like people are not able to leave comments right now. My apologies for that. You're unable to leave comments. However, you definitely can use your emojis. It's either that or I'm actually going to have to change the stream and change it to something that is publicly listed. That's all that has to happen, unfortunately. I do not know if the stream is still the same. I'm hoping that it is. Okay, so I'm just going to give a couple more minutes for people to join in, and then we'll get started. Just make sure that everything is a-okay. Okay, so It looks like we can chat. All right. Yep, I have sorted that out now. So I can see that comments are beginning to come in. And so everything is a-okay. I can see that and sound is good as well. So we can get started as soon as possible. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you to everybody who's joining in now. I appreciate you joining in. We are going to be starting in 2 minutes. Just to ensure that we are good, please let me know in the comments that you can hear me clearly and that you can see like a flyer that says media checking webinar with my face on it. If you can, please let me know in the comments, and we're going to get started ASAP. Okay. Thank you. I can see a couple more people joining. Thank you for that. Um, making sure that everybody knows that we are on, and then we'll get moving. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, everything is good. Great. You can hear me and you can see my flyer. Thank you. Elroy's own Abdulatif Adedeji Ogugo Iuchuku McCarthy Mukoro. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. All right. So I'm going to quickly take that down and basically show my face for a bit and do a little bit of introduction and get started, because I'm going to try to keep this under 1 hour and 15 minutes, at most 90 minutes, so that I know that you probably have other commitments. You probably want to attend other events and prepare for the new day. So I will try as much as possible to get started ASAP. All right, so this is me. Hello everybody, good evening. Welcome. It's currently 7:04 p.m. here. I would like to also know where everybody is watching from. Let me know where you're joining from. I'm currently streaming from the lovely city of Manchester, United Kingdom. It's 7:04, but it feels like 2 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm not using any artificial light whatsoever. This is 7:04 p.m. and it's as bright as 2 p.m. We're officially in the middle of summer, so it gets really bright up until like 10:30 to 11. So yeah, I'm super excited to be here. Let me know where you're also watching from. I know that a couple of people who filled the registration form said they were coming. Most of the people who filled the form from Nigeria, and I think also the UK. Those were the largest survey answers that we got. So thank you so much for joining. Nigeria and the UK are currently on the exact same time zone because of daylight savings has changed. So we're all on the same time zone. I can see McCarthy Bukuru is joining from Colchester in United Kingdom. Thank you for joining. How's the weather like? It's 29 degrees and boiling here. Gift is watching from Abuja, Nigeria. Abdul Latif is joining from Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining. There is no way that you're listening to this now that you don't know who I am, because you're here because you participated in the Global Business Masterclass. Either you joined the live masterclass or you got the replay. So you know who I am and why I am delivering this particular webinar, why it's free. The reason is because I don't like to leave my students hanging, right? I don't want a situation where I teach something that's absolutely valuable, that has the potential to change your life, and I'm not able to keep up because there's literally hundreds of you at this point, so it's very difficult for me to keep up with all of you. And so um i i um I have to do this to be able to check in, to make sure that everybody is good, and to make sure that everybody is actually following up on their goals. Beyond that, but also ensuring that you are re-strategizing given the way things are changing right now. Okay. So I am going to immediately get straight to the point and get started. Okay. So thank you so much to everybody who's here. Thank you to everybody who's listening. If you know anybody on the Global Business Masterclass Telegram platform that needs to be here, let them know that they need to be here, um, so that they can join in. Like over 100 of you registered for this, so I don't know how many people are eventually going to turn up, but I hope that you all are able to participate and get access to this. Okay, so this is the mid-year check-in webinar where I basically check in on the activities for the past 6 months since you got the Global Business Masterclass and help you re-strategize for the next 6 months. That's basically what we're going to be doing here. So a little bit of housekeeping. Um, Again, please make sure that you are in a quiet zone and that you don't have any distractions. Ensure that I have your undivided attention for the next 90 minutes. Be sure that you have your pens and your notes. I'm going to share a link for you to download a particular checklist that will help you with this process. So make sure you pay attention because it will appear and then it will disappear because I need to be able to move on past that aspect of this webinar. So please don't be distracted. Keep your notes down in case you are not able to the um exit the live webinar and you want to write down the link. I make it easy for you to be able to write it down. You want to write it down so that maybe you can type it out later and download the checklist. You're free to do so, but remember you have to have your pens and your journals with you in order for you to do that. Okay, so the next thing is if you have any questions, I'm happy to have your questions in the chat. You can type it out in the chat. I try as much as possible not to look at the chat when I'm going through my webinar slides because I tend to get very distracted and carried away when I see a question, and then I will segue from what we're supposed to be talking about. But if you can be kind to leave your questions till after the session is over and then I answer them, then that's fine. If you feel like you may forget, you can write it down in your pen or still drop it in the chat. I'll be happy to answer when I am done with the webinar. Okay, so that is that. So I want to open with this that says the world has gone global and you cannot afford to be left behind. I also did see a comment just now. I just want to acknowledge it before I move on. That's somebody who's Ace says, writing my second book now. Thank you, Ediri. Awesome. I'm happy to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that. So many people have been sending me messages that they've written and published their books, and I'm so proud of you. However, the world has gone global and you cannot afford to be left behind. That was the message I shared in the Global Business Masterclass day one. I hope that you've been able to remember that. So in today's objectives, like I said, I'm going to, help you understand the rapidly shifting global climate with, the rise of Donald Trump and everything he's been doing so far, AI explosion, immigration laws, which have been affecting majority of tier one countries, inflation, and all of that. In light of all of these things, we'll explore evaluating your current position right now, where you are, where you stand in the scheme of things, in the grand scheme of things that are happening in the world, then helping you understand the challenges and opportunities in today's world so that you can be aware of them in case you've not been paying attention, and also help you realign your goals with the future trends. So, what's going to be happening based on all that's happening now? And how do you align your goals with future trends? Don't worry, it's not such a drastic change from what you're doing, but we'll get to that aspect. And then help you to strategize for global positioning, income growth, and relevance. Global positioning, income growth, and relevance. So that's what we're going to be tackling in this very brief webinar. So before we begin though, I don't know how many people are watching me currently now. I would like to ask you, I've seen one person that has dropped a win from Global Business Masterclass. I would like to see others. So if whether you attended the Global Business Masterclass live or you got access to the replay and you went through the masterclass and you implemented on the steps that I shared with you, I would really appreciate if you can share a win. What was something you were able to achieve because you attended the Global Business Masterclass? Kindly share. It doesn't have to be a long testimony. If you if you have time later, we can do the long testimonies. But for now, just drop. Oh, I wrote a book, or I published a second book, or I got published on Amazon, or I became a bestseller. Oh, I did my first masterclass. Oh, I got my first international client, or I got a remote job, whatever it is that you have been able to achieve in the past 6.5 months since the Global Business Masterclass. I would like to hear from you. And the reason why we share testimonials here, and the reason why I'm asking is you never know who you're inspiring by sharing your win. You never know who is looking and be like, oh, wow, this person has done something. I'm inspired. I too would like to do something as well. I've been sitting on my hands in the past 6 months. I don't want to do that anymore. All right. So if you hear and you have gotten some level of result or the other, no matter how small, no matter how big, you're very, very free to share them in the chat. I'll be looking at them and I'll be cheering you on. And who knows, maybe you get something extra as a result of sharing your testimonials as well. But I would really, really like to see your wins. Again, congratulations to Ace. I don't know who that is, who said they are writing their second book now. Thank you. Thank you too. You're welcome. Makati says, I want to learn how to become an Amazon bestseller like you. It's very easy to do. If you get my Amazon printed profits and Amazon traffic secrets courses, I outline how you too can get published on Amazon and also become a bestseller. You can do it on your own. So those are courses I've created for those. All right. Um, for me, though, even though I am the convener of the Global Business Masterclass, I also have had some wins since then. 2024 was a very difficult year for me, but in spite of the difficulties, I still was able to show up to the best of my ability. I still was able to secure admission into a university in the UK to study for my master's. um, and the things I've been able to achieve because of that. My school has asked me to put my books in their library, in the school library, which is a huge, huge honor. I will be the first student to ever have their books in a school, a university library for undergrad and postgrad students, which is an honor, which means that I could potentially get uh, referenced and cited in dissertations, in essays and assignments of university students. And that is a pretty, pretty cool thing to achieve. So that for me is one of my biggest achievements so far. Also, I was able to work on my confidence and work on my influence and get into a leadership position in my school, which has been really, really beneficial for me. It has been rewarding. It has been a rewarding experience for me. Oh, also, I decided to learn Python coding, coding language. Maybe I told myself I would never before. I pushed myself, and now I am learning Python, which is absolutely really, really difficult, but it's been a rewarding exercise. I can see Roy's own, I think that is gift, says I positioned and got quality clients. Congratulations to you on doing that. Kudos and well done. I'm happy for you for getting quality clients. Thank you so for sharing your wins. I think I'll just move on from here so that we don't take too much time. A little recap before we move on for those of you who probably attended Global Business Masterclass and forgot about forgot about what you learned during the masterclass. So we talked about mindset. We talked about the mindset, the global business owners mindset. We talked about the fact that you don't have to conquer local before you go global. I shared my personal story and talked about how I was always a global business owner even before I conquered my local market. I talked about the fact that there are certain limiting beliefs that hold you down from expanding your business beyond the shores of your country. We talked about those. Then we talked about positioning and visibility on day one. How do you position yourself? what are the means by which you position yourself, and then how do you build visibility. I talked about the different ways I can build visibility. I especially talked about publishing as well, and leveraging platforms like LinkedIn, platforms like Amazon, other international platforms, to be able to position yourself for visibility. Then on day two, where we also invited John Ebidi, he talked about certain skills that you need, especially in the era of AI. I also talked about certain skills, and I remember sharing some resources with you to help you in upskilling, to help you to be able to know what areas you want to upskill and what kind of courses you can take. I shared a bunch of them with you. All right. Then I also shared the global visibility checklist that you can also use to build visibility in the global space. And I shared the tools for global business success. How many of you remember those? So I hope that you've been implementing on the things that I shared with you then. And I hope that today you'll be able to take even better action in achieving your goals. All right. Awele says, I've written and published 2 books. That's awesome. Thank you. McCarthy says, I got inspired by your last training and I have published 4 books on Amazon from that training. So these are amazing results to see that you're actually getting published on Amazon and publishing your book and positioning yourself and building visibility. There's something I'm going to share with you that's very, very important if you want to go beyond just writing books. Okay. Something I've been exploring for a couple of years, and I'm beginning to put it out there as a service now that I've been able to get results and master certain other things. Okay. So, like I said earlier, the world has changed, but have your strategies kept up with the change? Have your strategies kept up with the change that the world has been changing into? A lot of things have happened. What has changed, right? So, first of all, there's been massive global political shifts. Almost every day, there's something in the news about Donald Trump. Either he's fighting China, or he's fighting Canada, or he's fighting the UK, or he's dragging people from African countries, or one thing or the other. You may be wondering, okay, how does this thing even relate to me? It does. It does in a huge, huge way. Apart from the fact that the tariff wars directly impact the prices of things, it also impacts the way in which business flows. It also impacts where people spend their money. All right. It impacts where people spend their money. It impacts the value, the value of the softwares that you use and whether they will even remain in business or not. All right. So a whole lot of things have happened thanks to one single human being called Donald Trump. Then there's also been massive shifts in UK, Canada, and US immigration laws. All right. So, for example, in the US now, it's even worse because there's this thing called ICE. ICE agents have been going around and just bundling people and deporting people for all kinds of reasons. And even legal American citizens are being deported as well. So, a lot of people are terrified to even go to the US, even for holiday. So people who have been thinking of maybe going for school, in fact, that route has been shut down. They are no longer allowing international students to come into many of these schools. Now, in fact, by the time when I decided I was going to do this WhatsApp webinar, rather, a particular law had not been implemented, and that law was an immigration law that reduced Nigeria's visa validity to 3 months. People used to have up to 5 years visa validity for going to the US, but not non-immigrant visas have now been reduced to 3 months. It's going to affect a lot of people who have events, people who have business, people who have things that they constantly go and do in the US. They're also very, very much affected. So you may be asking yourself, how does that affect me? It affects you in the sense that it gives you a unique position as a remote service provider to be able to offer your services without having to leave your country. UK immigration laws have also changed as well. Now they say that, oh, if you want to get a certificate of stay, what they call COS, as somebody who comes to the UK as an immigrant, you have to have a job that earns between 33,000 and 41,000 pounds. People are screaming that, oh my God, this is so difficult. But in me, I'm seeing the opportunity there. It means that, oh, I don't get to be paid nonsense for the skills that I have if I'm going to get a corporate job. right? I will actually get paid a lot more than my contemporaries that came before me, as long as I can position myself in that way. I'll give you a funny example that just happened to me very recently. Few days ago, I think it was on Thursday, I attended an event, right, in collaboration with a fintech company, one of the biggest fintech companies in Europe, and another fintech was lending for cars, a company like that that lends for cars, and a different other brand, right? And it was an event for women. And before the event began, I struck a conversation with one of the, I would call her the senior, one of the senior orgas in the fintech um, organization. And I just introduced myself and say, hey, my name is so and so and so. I'm currently doing my master's at so and so university on this particular area, which is a tech related field. My master's is in a tech related field, right? I'm doing my master's in this. I'm also this and that. I also have this particular background. Before I attend any event, I know what pitch I'm going to give. I know which people are going to be there, and I know what part of my story and what part of my multiple talents I'm going to show out there, because I do a lot of things, right? I'm an author, I'm a publisher, I'm a storyteller, I am a business development person, I'm a business analyst, I am a certified business analyst, I'm a certified results and performance coach, I am a corporate trainer, I train for SMEs as well. I've trained with Facebook, so I also am a certified Facebook trainer, right? Or Facebook trainer. What else? I'm also a master student that's doing this particular thing. I also a framework design specialist as well. I design framework for people and organizations to be able to make their work and their business and their lives more effective. Framework design is something I've been playing around with for a long time. So one question that people tend to ask is, oh, I have different things I'm doing. How do I know what to say? You have to first of all examine where you are going to, the kind of people that are going to be there, and how what they are doing aligns with the particular area of skill that you have. We'll talk about skill and capacity later on, right? And I introduced myself as a student who's studying in this particular tech area and also have this particular background. I did not even talk about the fact that I'm an author. I did not mention author and publisher at all in that space because that wasn't needed. And the next thing that comes out of her mouth is, oh, are you looking for a job? Right? And it's funny that someone gets to ask that question based on one simple sentence of an elevator speech. So it is very important that you understand how you position yourself in your mind's eye and then position yourself in front of people who you know can give you access to certain opportunities. So while people are saying there is a casting down because of the new immigration laws, you are supposed to be looking at how those laws will benefit you so that you can say there is a lifting up. All right. So all those immigration laws, they don't concern you when you know how to position yourself and your skills to your own advantage. All right. There's also been civil and economic unrest, rise of inflation, global instability. There was threat of World War III at a particular point, I think it was just last month, which scared a lot of people. Stock market was crashing and a whole bunch of things were happening. So things are changing. Unpredictability is becoming a lot higher, a lot faster, and much more uncertain. There's a lot more uncertainty in the world today. Who knows? Maybe something can happen next month, and before you know what's happening, we're actually plunged into a literal World War III. How do you position yourself? All right. There's also a rise of AI and borderless tech jobs. At the event I attended on Thursday, even though they were trying to not talk about AI, like at the beginning, they were like, we're going to try to not talk about AI. AI still found itself into the conversation because you cannot talk about fintech, you cannot talk about women in the workplace and women in entrepreneurship without talking about AI. In fact, one of the speakers was somebody who founded an AI company, and all she does is trains executive on how to use ChatGPT to prompt. That's her business. She goes around the UK training business executives, managers on how to use ChatGPT to prompt. This is something that I taught you people for free as part of a training. That is what I found that somebody has an entire business model built on how to teach people how to prompt. Anybody that is laughing at you for wanting to do a master class to teach people how to prompt, that person, I don't know. maybe you should stop listening to that person, because what you take for granted, other people's entire business models are built on those things. You know how to generate fantastic responses from AI. Business owners and executives are treating AI like Google, but you know how to teach them to get better results. Why aren't you doing it? So, rise of AI and borderless tech jobs. So you can be in your house, you can be an entrepreneur, and you can be working for a company in the United States of America, pay you $2,500 a month for working a few hours in a day. And it probably, even if you're working a 9 to 5, it doesn't affect your work because the time zones are different. All right. So there is all those opportunities that are available for you now because of tariff wars and because of inflation and because of having to increase minimum wage. Companies in the US, the UK, Canada, and Australia, they find out that it's much more difficult for them to employ people from their own country than it is to employ people from outside of their country where they can pay a much less salary and still get results. Guess what? There are people who are software engineers, for example, earning $200,000 in America. But those same companies would rather go and pay somebody from Nigeria $50,000. That's 75% less. $50,000 for that exact same role as a remote opportunity. And the person in Nigeria is jumping and dancing because that's over $4,000 a month. So you're seeing a lot of tech guys and tech bros in Lagos and Abuja right now that are making a lot of money, but it's nothing compared to even being there. But guess what? You don't have to travel there. The cost of living there will not, finish your money, and all the other expenses that come with, relocating to that country will not finish your money. Now, if you need to relocate because your environment and the things that you want to do demand you relocate, that's fine. But I'm just trying to say that you don't have to leave your country if you want to be able to earn even up to $4,000 a month just working a couple of weeks remotely. All right. There's also increased competition and opportunity in the remote workforce. You need to now ask yourself, where is the competition and where are the opportunities? There's massive competition now for business analysts and data analysts and graphic designers and content creators. There's massive competition there, but there are still massive opportunities even within those fields. More and more jobs I shared with you in Global Business Masterclass, more and more opportunities are opening for data analysts, data engineers. And again, many of the data analyst jobs is just for you to build and maintain dashboard, which you can actually learn within 1 month. You can learn how to use Excel or Power BI or Tableau to design a dashboard for a small shop and be doing it freelance and be managing it and be getting management fee every single month. Imagine that you have 5 small companies, small startups that they will pay you maybe anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 to design their first dashboard. And then they are paying you $500, only $500 a month to maintain that dashboard. What do I mean by a dashboard? A dashboard is simply like a visual snapshot of the company's day-to-day activities. How many people are coming to their shop to buy? What are they ordering? What's the profit margin? Which staff are bringing in the most sales? Those kind of things, you represent them as a visual, either as pie charts or graph charts. And if you're using a platform like Tableau, Tableau is able to allow you feed the information from the business into the dashboard on a day-to-day basis so that this thing is updated regularly. And then once a month, you can actually go and check that everything is A-OK and up to date. Imagine that you have just five of those companies from the United States of America who are paying you to design and maintain. Maintenance fee of just $500 a month. And you have just five. That's an extra 2,500 from just five companies. I'm sharing this with you because there are so many opportunities, but you don't see them and you don't think you're qualified for them because you haven't built what is called my triangular capacity, which I'll share with you. There's also so much noise in the marketplace. Thanks to ChatGPT, everybody now feels like they know everything. Thanks to ChatGPT, people feel like they know everything. However, people are beginning to realize that the information on ChatGPT is not always accurate, and people who use ChatGPT to generate content create noise. Their content is watered down, their content is shallow, there is no experience and case study to back up the facts that they share. And so you cannot really trust what they share. And that's why more and more people are beginning to look towards the thought leaders and the people in authority for the truth regarding the information that they need, regarding the transformation that they want. So, in this era of noise, how do you stand out? It's great to use ChatGPT and AI to automate a whole lot of things, but where is your uniqueness? That's where positioning and visibility would help you to either stand out or become part of the noise. So when the environment changes, your strategy must too. So much ChatGPT related content has flooded the internet so much that even YouTube recently has decided that any platform that is using ChatGPT to generate content, they are going to shut down and demonetize those platforms. They take your videos down or they completely demonetize them. So you can use ChatGPT to create your explainer videos. There was a massive rise in that thing, and a lot of people were teaching it, and honestly, it wasn't so bad. But I realized that eventually people are going to complain that we don't want mess, and that's where the world is tending towards now. We don't want mess, we don't want generic content anymore. We want to see real people putting in real work, and YouTube has taken the first step to begin to um um what's the word I want to use? I don't want to say sanction. They've begun to filter away those kinds of generic content. So you see all those videos where you use AI to do all those story time videos, or use AI to do those kinds of stories where you take somebody's ideas, you use it a little bit using a cloud, and then you throw it into another AI stuff software and it turns it into a video and explain that video. Those things are no longer going to give you money on YouTube. And if you're not checking the news to know that these things are happening, it will be too late for you. You cannot go into a particular sector using a particular tool like AI and not know what is happening around it. All right. So the environment is changing. So your strategy must change. If you're somebody who's been creating content using solely AI, you need to rethink your strategy because the environment is changing. Even laymen are beginning to realize AI generated content and they're not liking it anymore. It used to be fun. People used to be curious about it before, but now it's no longer what it used to be. So, what are the global trends to watch for right now? So now you already know the things that have changed. What are you supposed to be looking out for? What are you supposed to be looking out for? The first thing is remote first economies and increase in freelance opportunities. So, um, um, I'm here with my family, and I have a sister who works in a particular organization, and her job is hybrid. She goes into the office 2 days a week, and the remaining days she's at home. And there are remote opportunities all over. I have another person as well who lives in the UK, but the company that hired him is in Wales, and he's never been in almost more than a year. He has never been to the office, right? Tech and tech related roles allow you to be able to do that. So as a doctor, as a nurse, you cannot do that obviously because you have to actually meet people. But if you're in customer service, if you're in technology, you likely would be in a position where you can be hired remotely. And there's also going to be increase in freelance opportunities because people don't want to pay tax for hiring a staff. So they would likely want to just hire a freelancer on retainer. That gives you opportunity to be able to position yourself as somebody who works with people over a long period of time. Rather than getting employment if you're somebody who doesn't need papers, rather than getting employment with people who will tie you down, you can actually set your own time, your own hours, and your own fees working as a freelancer. All right. If you're somebody who probably would need the papers that a company offers, then you probably want to explore that opportunity. However, if you're a freelancer and you're able to constantly bring in sales, you don't need to be tied down by a company. Then, knowledge and skill over degrees. Although degrees are still relevant, especially for outsiders, but the world is trending towards what do you know and what can you do? Knowledge and skills over degrees. The reason why I'm putting in that bracket is that I don't want somebody who's listening to me now to now say, oh, Edirin said the degrees are no longer relevant again. I don't want to go to school. Please, that's not what I said. What I'm saying is, beyond just your paper and your certificate, can you demonstrate any usable skill that will actually add to a company's objective or add to a person's transformation, right? For years, I did not have any certification in coaching. For years, I got my first certifications in coaching in 2019. My first certifications in coaching were 2019 into 2020, although I've been coaching since 2017. But I had the knowledge and the skills because I've had coaches since 2015. So I've understood certain processes. It was when I realized I needed a particular skill for a particular thing and an area I wanted to transition into. I had to go and get certified because I needed the knowledge. I've never had to show my certification for coaching to anybody to convince them to come and work with me. It has never happened. Not a single coach has asked me, rather, not a single client has asked me, hey, Ediri, are you certified? They don't ask me, wait, do you have certification in coaching? Nobody cares. That's the honest truth. Nobody cares. What they want to know is, do you have the knowledge and you have the skill to help me? The same thing happens when you're going into corporate. There are so many people right now in positions of power in corporate spaces who don't even have university degrees, but they have knowledge and they have skill. It's very important. Then another thing to look out for is AI, cybersecurity, ethics, and governance. So the reason why I'm sharing about these things is that I don't want you to feel like, oh, you have to be doing tech, you have to be doing data, you have to be coding, you have to be doing dashboard, you have to be a data analyst or a business analyst to get into tech. That's not true. You can decide that, okay, instead of getting into tech, I want to be an international business consultant and help people to understand how they can use data to improve their business without you having to be a data analyst. You can say, okay, this particular company, let's say a retail company, for example, like Walmart, right? Or maybe a fintech company like Wise. How many of us know Wise? I hope everybody's listening and nobody's out lost. How many of us know Wise? Wise is a fintech company that allows you to be able to receive payments in multiple currencies, right? They used to allow Nigerians on it before, but now you have to have a business registered in either the US, the UK, or Canada in order for you to be able to use their platforms, or be a resident in any of these countries to be able to use Wise. But it's really good, right? And you can be an ethics or governance expert for a company like Wise, where they deal with a lot of data and they struggle with, security risks as regards their customers' data. Someone can decide to study ethics and governance regarding data and be an ethics and governance expert or an ethics and governance person in the company that is advising them on the ethical ways to manage data and governance regarding data and how you properly use data. All right. Then you can even focus on DEI conversations. So people who do data may not understand how diversity, equality, and inclusion would affect the data that they are using. How do you advise data analysts on diversity, equality, and inclusion, especially if you're working with these, tier one countries like the US or the UK and Canada, these countries that are very liberal, right? How do you advise them on how to factor in DEI in the data that they're analyzing? You can decide to do that and still get paid almost as much as the data analysts themselves. You can also talk about, okay, I want to focus on automation. How do I help businesses automate their dashboards? So instead of them paying me maintenance fee, they can pay me a one-time fee of say $5,000 and I will automate their dashboard for them using Tableau. And I just basically walk them through how to ensure that the data continues to feed into what I have automated for them so that they don't need me to be showing them day-to-day dashboard. The thing is updating on its own constantly. Or show how to do automations for chatbots. So many companies are looking for AI agents, people who can build AI agents for them, who can design chatbots for their companies train the chatbot on the company's data so that the company is able to do customer service for them without them having to pay multiple customer service agents. You can decide that that's what you want to focus on and learn in the next 90 days. Become an expert in it. Start putting out your skills on LinkedIn and have people reaching out to you to hire you to help them build automated AI agents for their business. This is something that is in so much demand right now, and for the next couple of years will continue to be in demand. In fact, there are even AI HRP personnel already who are now conducting interviews in place of human beings. Somebody like you who's listening to me right now can actually learn how to build an agent for that. Setting up your own chat GPT is not hard to do. It's not hard to do at all. All right. So another thing that you want to look out for is governments prioritizing citizens. Therefore, immigrants need stronger positioning. With what is happening in America, where they are mass deporting all kinds of immigrants and all of that, if you are somebody who has massive positioning, you are an influential person, you have a strong influential base in wherever it is that you are. For those of you who are immigrants in another country, or those of us who are immigrants in another country, by positioning yourself to be smarter and better and have more to offer than even their citizens, they will never choose an incompetent person over you. All right. So government is prioritizing its citizens. So how do you compete? How do you compete? It's making it harder now. They are making it harder now for immigrants to be able to get opportunities straight from their countries into straight from immigrant countries into these tier one countries. They're also making it very difficult for people who are already in the country to be able to remain. But there are always loopholes. There are always ways around all these kind of things that I know somebody who, because of who the person was, because of the positioning of this person, a particular country in Europe offered this person citizenship straight ahead. The person did not have to pass through any kind of long process. The person did not have to go through ILR. The person did not have to go through permanent residency because of who they were and how they were positioned within a few years that they were able to build their brand. From Nigeria, they immediately were able to get this particular citizenship. This person is my friend. This is not stories that I'm telling you from nowhere. It's my friend. By positioning yourself, you're able to get access to opportunities that your peers and even other citizens will not be able to get access to, even though the governments are prioritizing their citizens now. So, what does this mean for you? It means more competition for fewer high value global roles, right? Especially where it counts, especially if you are planning on immigrating. There are also more opportunities for you if you are visible, you are strategic, and globally positioned. I shared in the beginning that my school offered me the opportunity to have my books placed in my school library. It's the first time they've ever asked a student to put their book in a library. A student. Me, that I'm a student, that I'm supposed to be using the library to be, learning and quoting other people, I'm being asked now. It's because of visibility, and strategic positioning is very important. All right. So there are more opportunities if you are visible, if you are strategic, and if you are globally positioned. There's also time for you to upgrade from your side. It's time for you to upgrade from your side hustle thinking to your borderless business strategy. If you've been taking your business as a side hustle and playing small and looking at it as a hobby, this is time for you to begin to rethink your borderless business strategy. I hope I'm sharing something with somebody that is making sense. I know that many times when I talk in my class, because I tend to be pretty fast, it's very hard for people to type in the comments. But I would like to pause now and ask if everybody is following so far so that I'm not just talking to myself. If you are here and you're listening and it's making sense to you, just drop some emojis in the chat section so that I know that everybody's listening and everybody's following. And you're not just turning on your TV or your laptop or phone and just disappearing. All right. Okay, so I see a couple of people say I'm making sense. Awesome. So you need to start taking your business that you think is a small business. You need to start taking it seriously. You also need to learn to leverage stronger platforms. You need to leverage stronger platforms. Social media is not as strong as it used to be before. In the times when I started my business, social media was fantastic. Facebook groups were amazing. amazing. Like I'll make a post in my group of like 14,000 people and I'll have over 1,000 likes, 600, 700 comments because everybody could see the posts. Now I make a post to my 39,000 member group and barely 10 people can see the post, right? Meta has deliberately shrunk Facebook group posts to become invisible, especially when you're posting knowledge and value. You notice that the groups that you used to follow for value, you no longer see their content anymore. Instead, you're seeing content from even things that you don't follow. You're seeing content from other groups that you do not even join because the content there is entertainment, content that is designed to keep you dumb. Sorry to use that word. Content that is designed to keep you clueless, to keep you ignorant, to have you have rage baits, right? I shared a while ago. I shared the agenda of the 21st century. I think that was the post that it was called, and people resonated with the fact that yes, it's true. I don't see posts from John Obidi or Ediri Odewo or this person and that person anymore, even though they've been posting. It's because our kind of posts and our kind of content is not the kind of content that those people want on their platforms. So what did we do? We noticed it and we decided to go and build our own platforms, aka email lists, aka Telegram channels, aka WhatsApp channel. In case you didn't know, I have a WhatsApp channel as well. For let me just put that out there, right? I have a WhatsApp channel. That's what's scrolling at the bottom. Mediriadol.com/WhatsApp. It will take you to the WhatsApp channel. Okay. I'm building my mailing list as well. I can't remember the last time I had to go and sell anything on Facebook or even on Instagram. I don't bother myself anymore. Instead, I leverage on building my mailing list and building my WhatsApp channel, and I'm giving great content on my WhatsApp channel. In fact, on WhatsApp, I didn't share today because I was preparing for this, but I share my 10-minute masterclass where I take a particular topic and do like a 10 minutes or less audio on the particular topic. It's quick, but it's absolutely valuable. How many of you have seen that? How many of you have seen that? My WhatsApp channel. How many of you are on the WhatsApp channel? You've seen those videos, right? And I designed them. I designed them so that it looks really good and it's very shareable. You can share it to your status. You can share it to your Facebook groups, your WhatsApp groups, right? You can even share it to your friends as well. And even you can create it. I created a guide on the same WhatsApp channel to help you know what kind of content to create on your own WhatsApp channel. And in that guide, it also contains a step-by-step process to setting up your own WhatsApp channel, right? So build your own channel, leverage stronger platforms, aka your own platforms. We've been singing it since for years that do not build your house on rented land. I have a combined followership of over 100,000 across my social media platforms. However, my most valuable platforms are my email lists, my Telegram channels, and my WhatsApp. That's where I make my income from. That's where I make my income from. That's where I do my sellings, my trainings, my whatever it is I want to do. Establish your own platforms. If you want to have to leverage on social media platforms, leverage on platforms like YouTube and LinkedIn. YouTube and LinkedIn are basically amazing for engagement and monetization right now. Facebook, sorry to say, has gone down the drain. Instagram is still okay. Threads is for people who are very determined to build a very international audience. I do not do anything on X that is called Twitter anymore. I don't go there because that whole thing is just, it's not for me, right? I don't think my target audience is there. Okay. So, for me, TikTok is still okay, but it's on shaky waters. All right. If you're somebody who's in diaspora, you probably want to be a bit careful with TikTok. The US is still having issues. The UK is in talks to follow the US steps. I don't know about other countries, but TikTok is kind of okay. Visibility and engagement is still kind of high, especially for educational content. But LinkedIn, YouTube, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. People are searching for your kind of content on these platforms. So leverage the stronger platforms, establish your own platforms. Intentionality is now more important than ever. You have to be very intentional about everything that you do. You have to be very intentional about everything that you do. You cannot just wake up one day and just do things without having a plan, without having a strategy, without having a roadmap for what it is that you want to do, right? Your life should be frameworks at this particular point in time. I'm going to share a particular framework on self-leadership soon that I designed, a 5-step framework on self-leadership that will probably help you to be able to, lead and design your life in such a way that you become more productive. But intentionality is more important. And then these last two ones, I want to talk about them a little bit. Influence has dethroned content as king. We used to say content is king. That's cool. But thanks to AI, content has now become ubiquitous. Content is now common. Influence is now king. Influence has replaced content as king. It's the people with the stronger influence whose content do better. The stronger your influence, the better your content, because the more people will listen to you, the more people take your content seriously, the more people want to actually listen to what it is that you have to say and connect with you for paid opportunities. Influence has dethroned content as king. I hope that everybody can pay attention to what that means. Write it down and think about it. Go and ask ChatGPT, what does this sentence mean? Let it help you if you need some more help. All right. And then this last part, skill has dethroned knowledge as the new gold. We used to say knowledge is the new gold. There were books about talking about how knowledge is the new gold. I said knowledge is the new gold, but things have changed. Thanks to, again, the rise of ChatGPT, knowledge is now water. Knowledge is now ubiquitous. Anybody can go on ChatGPT and in 1 week can learn anything. Knowledge is no longer gold because knowledge has become available to everybody. However, skill is the new gold. Nobody cares anymore about how much you know. What can you do with what you know is the key. Everybody can know stuff about stuff. Everybody knows about ChatGPT. Well, can you do with your knowledge of ChatGPT? That's what is gold. That's what stands you out. You need to be able to prove yourself, and this will show in your content. You no longer need to be putting out content that just has information. Your content now, strong content, is the kind of content that demonstrates your expertise based on the skill that you have. Your content should be talking about case studies. Your content is talking about testimonials. Your content is talking about frameworks that you have designed by yourself that ChatGPT can never show another person because it's originally yours. All right? Your content is based on facts, figures, statistics that you've been able to generate and create from either your experience or your experience with your clients. Okay? So, content that will help you will largely depend on your personal story. So your storytelling for your own personal stories is great. I'm not saying that you have to become an oversharer, but you have to understand how to incorporate your personal story so that your content always feels authentic. Okay, so influence has dethroned content as king. Skill has dethroned knowledge as the new gold. So I want to quickly share on what I created. I created this framework called the levels of capacity. I talked about it earlier on. The levels of capacity. There are 6 levels of capacity I designed. In my studies over the past couple of years, I was studying Robert Dill's 6 logical levels of change. And in my studies and my personal application, I began to realize that for every logical level of change, there was a certain level of capacity that was needed for that change. This is something that I discovered for myself. I didn't read it in any book, just putting it out there. It's trademarked by me because this is my framework. You will never find this framework in any book. You will never find it on Google. This is the first time probably that you're going to be seeing it like this. I have mentioned it, but I don't know if I mentioned it in a class or if I was in a conversation with a coach or a friend. But I mentioned my 6 levels of capacity. Idris 6 levels of capacity. That's what it's called. So you can take a screenshot if you want. That's fine. But if you are sharing it or you want to teach it, remember to give me due credit. Okay. So that's how frameworks tend to get spread. Like Robert Dill's logical level of change is not my framework, it's Robert Dill's framework. So whenever I'm talking about it, I always mention him and give him the credit because it's not mine. But this is mine, my levels of capacity. At the bottom level is talent. Talent is the most basic level of capacity. Talent is basically what you're born with knowing. I'll give you an example. Um, the difference between talent and skill, right? Okay, let me talk about skill. So talent you're born with, skill you learn. Okay, talent you're born with, skill you learn. There are two men, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not too into football anymore, but when it comes to football, there are two fantastic players in our generation. There's Ronaldo and there's Messi, right? It is often argued that Messi was born with the talent for playing football, but Ronaldo had to develop his skill. Ronaldo was not naturally as talented as Messi. Messi is good, right? He's naturally good. However, he still needed to train for this talent of football to eventually become a skill. But Ronaldo did not have the same talent as Messi. So he had to train extra hard to be just as good. There are some people that argue that Messi is better than Ronaldo. Some people argue that Ronaldo is better than Messi. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I've not watched them side by side enough times to know the difference. But guys, I hope I'm saying something that makes sense. Correct me if I'm wrong. People that watch football, even ladies that watch football, right? Um, so in order for you in order for you to be able to compare to somebody who's naturally good at something, you have to work on your skill extra hard. However, there's a statement that I heard from the actor Will Smith a long time ago. He said skill beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, something like that. Or hard, we said hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. He was referring to building skill, right? Hard work will always beat talent when talent doesn't work hard. So at the bottom level of levels of capacity is talent. You're naturally good at it. Oh, I'm naturally good at plaiting hair. I did not learn it. But for me to have a skill, I have to practice. All right. Like Pastor Femi Okunola said just now, it's refined. You have to refine that talent. And if you do not have it before, you have to practice even extra hard to be able to get to that point where it starts to feel like it was natural for you. So at number 5 is skill, where you're beginning to work on that talent. Let's say you started with talent. I have a talent for storytelling. I'm able to, get people's ears tingling. Then the next thing is skill. You work on that particular talent till it becomes something that you can offer as a value. All right. So talent is good, skill is valuable. Skill is what value when you get to the point where you can actually exchange stuff for value. The more you build on your skill, the more competent you become. True or false? The more you build on your skill, the more competent you become at that thing. All right. So, as a child, growing up in a house as a first daughter, I had to learn how to cook. I had to learn how to, first of all, boil water. Then I learned how to boil egg. Then I learned how to boil rice. All right. And sometimes when I'm boiling the rice, I'll put too much salt. Sometimes I'll put not enough salt. Sometimes I'll burn the rice. Sometimes it's too soft. Sometimes it's too hard. But the more I began to practice the skill of rice boiling, the more competent I became at it, to the point where I'm now, I'm at the point where I pour the rice, I pour water without measuring it. I put salt onto my ancestors. My spirits tell me is enough. All right. And then I put it on fire. I walk away. I come back at an exact time and the rice is perfectly cooked. All right. So, yeah, the more you work on skill, the more competent you become. And competence is what builds your confidence. The more competent you are at something, the more confident you are to share it with the rest of the world. When you start to share it with the rest of the world and more people begin to know you for that particular competence, you say you have built expertise. So when you get competent to the point that you no longer make mistakes in that particular thing that you do, you have now built what? Expertise. You are now an expert in this particular thing. All right. So I'm going to give you guys a few moments to um think about what I have said and ask yourself, on this level now, have I gotten to the point of expertise where people can pay me for this thing that I have built competence in? All right. So at the point where you are now comfortable enough and confident in receiving payment for a particular thing, with all your full chest, you say you have built expertise. I'm now an expert in writing. I'm now an expert in storytelling. I'm now an expert in publishing. I'm now an expert in authoring books. I'm now an expert in doing master classes. I'm now an expert in selling. I'm now an expert in creating paid programs and online courses, right? So at that point of expertise where you are now comfortable exchanging your value for money, you are say you have built expertise. Then the next level of expertise is authority. This is the point where people begin to recognize your expertise. Expertise is you feeling confident in sharing your skills with the world and getting paid for it. Authority is where other people begin to recognize your expertise. At this point, you are actually distributing avenues for people to come in contact with that skill that you have developed or the capacity that you have built. All right. This is where you're now putting out content, putting out value that people can interact with. You have written your book. You are now an authority because you have written your book. You've taught a class on the subject. People have interacted with the class. They have gained value. They have received the transformation that you're trying to put out there. People have started sharing testimonials with you. Oh, I attended your class and I was able to do this. Oh, I watched your video. I was able to do this. Oh, I attended Global Business Masterclass and now I've written 4 books. Oh, I watched your video on your video course on Amazon printed profits and I've been able to create my own low content products. Authority. When you're able to help people achieve transformation through your expertise, you have built authority. Then, at the point where a lot of people strive to get to is the institution, where your capacity has now grown to the point where you are now an institution. At this point, there is no kind of content, there is no kind of capacity that you haven't expressed yourself in. All right. You express yourself in such a way that you have built an academia, you have built a body of work that can stand on its own, and people now know you for this particular thing. You're not just an expert, you're not just an authority, you're somebody that people go to help train to become like you, to help train maybe their own staff, to help train their management, to help train their team, or to help train themselves to be able to apply the same frameworks, the same techniques, the same knowledge that has gotten people that have come in contact with you the kind of results that they want to get as well. So, for example, you look at the idea of leadership. Who comes to your mind is the institution, usually. The person who has built an institution is the person that comes to your mind. When you think about leadership, for me, who comes to my mind is John Maxwell, right? John Maxwell is the go to person when it comes to leadership. He has built an institution on the ideology of leadership, right? He has an institution, books, coaching programs, courses, master classes, certification programs. He now certifies other people with his own leadership frameworks, right? He now has I was taking a leadership course in school, and guess what? John Maxwell showed up as one of the authorities because it's an institution. And I was like, I would like to be like this one day. I would like to be like this one day. I would like to be an institution, right? And I'm getting there. Right. I've developed frameworks, multiple frameworks like these levels of capacity that I could use to establish its own institution. From this particular framework, I can write books, which is going to come. From this particular framework, I will start teaching webinars. From this particular framework, I start teaching paid master classes. From this particular framework, I develop a coaching model. From this particular framework, I have group coaching programs, accountability programs, masterminds, membership programs on this particular framework, helping people to be able to go from talent to institution in 6 months, for example, in a particular program. When it comes to actualization and visualization, you think about Vijay Lakiani. When it comes to productivity, you think about people like Brendan Burchard or even Grant Cardone, aka 10x guy, right? When it comes to Amazon publishing, you think about Ediri, and that's cool. So you have to understand, where am I in this level of capacity? Yes, I may be trying to sell, but have I really reached the level of expertise, or do I need to go back and work on my competence? Competence basically means I need to go back and keep doing this thing over and over again till I can't get it wrong. till I can't get it wrong. That's what competence is about. Competence is not doing something many times that you get it right. Competence is doing something so much, so often that you cannot get it wrong anymore. If C. Ronaldo stands in front of a penalty pitch and kicks the ball, and every time he kicks the ball, it goes into the net, that's competence. All right. Ediri has maintained 100% streak in helping her clients get to Amazon bestseller status. That's competence. Do something enough times that you no longer get it wrong. You always get it right. You're batting 100 all the time. So I wanted to share that with you so that it can help you to understand where you are, because sometimes your capacity level might be hindering you from going to the next step in your global business strategies. All right. Yes, Abdulatif, James Clear. When it comes to habits, you're thinking about James Clear. Exactly. When it comes to financial education, you're thinking about Robert Kiyosaki. These are people that have built institutions around what it is that they know, around their skills, around their expertise, around their capacity. Okay. So I thought to share that with you. So the question now is, where are you now? Assess yourself based on the capacity. I have a capacity test that I'm still working on that will help you to be able to answer a few questions and then determine whether you are at level 1 or level 2 or level 3 or so on and so forth. I would probably put that out later on and you can test it out. Maybe Global Business Masterclass people can actually test it out for free. But let's do the audit. Let's do a check now. Where are you now? Were you able to implement the masterclass learnings? Whether you are here from the live masterclass or you got the replay, have you grown your visibility? Would you say that you are more visible now than you were before? Did you upskill in high demand areas? Have you added one new skill to your repertoire since then? Right? How many global opportunities have you accessed? I gave you a checklist, a global visibility checklist. How many of these ones have you implemented? How many global opportunities have you accessed? Have you joined any memberships or have you joined any platforms for international entrepreneurs, for example? So I created a checklist for you that can help you to answer some of these questions. If you answer between 15 to 20, that means you're good. If you answer between 10 and 12 or 10 to 15, there's a lot of work to be done. If you answered below 10, then I don't know what to say. Maybe something happened, maybe life happened and you were struggling, but for the next half year, you can pick yourself up. So go to this link. I'm going to share it again on the screen. Where's the link? Yeah. So go to this link and you can see it here. Get the audit checklist bit.ly/gbm audit checklist. So when you go to it, you just take you straight to the download. You don't need to fill any form or whatsoever to access this. Just go straight to this. You can save it and it will help you to get it. All right. So if you can take a screenshot of the screen right now if you want, or you can take a picture if you're accessing this on your screen, your TV screen, or you can just simply write it down with your pen and paper. bit.ly/gbm audit checklist. Okay. So if you're done, I'd like to move to the next slide. I did not want to dwell too much on this, on the checklist. What I want to share with you now is how do you then reposition in the second half of 2025? How do you reposition? If the last 6 months have been not what you wanted, if the last 6 months have been a bit slow, if life happened and you've not been able to follow through because of the last 6 months, Jamil says downloaded also. Thank you. If the last 6 months have been hard and you found out that you've not really done anything, you can actually still catch up in the next 6 months. What do you need to do then to catch up? All right. So refine your personal brand for a global audience. Go and access your personal brand. You can go back again to the Global Business Masterclass videos where I talked about branding. Go and access your personal brand. Compare your personal brand to where you know that your personal brand is supposed to be for a global audience. Have you done the work? Have you worked on your Googleability? Remember, I shared about how Googleable are you? When I Google you, when you Google yourself, what do you see? There's a particular person I'm working on right now, a client I'm working with right now. And I Googled this particular client, and not a single photo or a single profile of this person came up, we had to rework a rebranding strategy for this client that she's working on right now. Because I'm like, I don't, you want to build influence and authority, but your name is very common. Sorry to say, your name is very common, and not a single picture of you, not a single profile of you is on the first and second pages of your Google search. That's not good enough. So we had to have a different rebranding strategy for her to get back on page one. I listed a couple of things for her to do. I think about 5 or 6 things or so for her to do to be able to get on the page on the Google first page. All right. Knowledge panel. Have you claimed your knowledge panel? Have you verified yourself on LinkedIn? You need to refine your personal brand for a global audience. Get published internationally. It's not only Amazon. I know that people are saying that, oh, they are blocking Amazon accounts from Nigeria. Fine, use other platforms. There's Draft to Digital. There's Kobo Books. Get published on those platforms as well. You can publish on Shopify as well. Those are other international platforms. Okay, revisit your global business goals. The goals that you wrote down last year, revisit them. How many of you accomplished? How many are yet to be accomplished? And what can you start doing today? Then compare your goals to the current trends and align with what works. It's possible that certain goals that you set may have become outdated. So ask yourself, which ones are outdated? How do I realign those goals? How do I align with what works? Right? If one of your goals, for example, was to travel to America as an international student this year, you know that that one cannot work again because thanks to Donald Trump, right? So I don't want to say Donald Trump too much on this live because he's public, so it doesn't catch me. But thanks to the man up there in America, that can't happen again. So you have to now ask yourself, how do I realign? Do I focus on another country? Do I go to Canada? Do I go to some other European country? Right? So what works and how do you align with that? If your goal was to come to the UK with support worker visa, you know that that one cannot happen again. Right? So how do you realign with what works? So then create multiple entry points. Some of you have written your books now. Great. What's your other offer? I had a client who we worked on her book, and I was like, it's not enough. You want to launch? Yes, great. But it's not enough to launch your book. Let's not launch your book. So we did a de-launching process for her book. And the book became an Amazon bestseller through that de-launching process. All right. So it's not always about launching. Sometimes you have to go through certain other avenues depending on the goals that you have set so that your activities and your strategies can align with the best option for your business and your brand. So create multiple entry points. You have a book, fantastic. What's your offer? Great. What's the platform that you're going to be offering your offers on? Think about that. So beyond just a book, are you also going to be launching a YouTube channel? Are you also going to be launching a podcast? Are you going to be launching a WhatsApp channel along with it as well? If you're going to be launching a WhatsApp channel, which one should take preeminence? Which one should take precedence? All right. So instead of launching the book, can you launch the platform and use the book as something else? Instead of launching the book, can you launch something else and have the book as a giveaway for the thing that you're launching? So that's a de-launching process where you don't focus on the book, even though the book is the idea. All right. So build a portfolio that speaks international. Build a portfolio that speaks international. One of the things that you can do to immediately gain international recognition is to have a virtual summit. Is to have a virtual summit, right? And you can have virtual summits and have international speakers for your virtual summit. They don't have to be American. You can have international speakers from English speaking European countries, English speaking Asian countries, English speaking South American countries, countries like Brazil, countries like I think Peru and Chile. They are largely Spanish, but they also speak English as well. Countries like Germany, there are some English speakers there as well. Netherlands, Dutch countries, Belgium, and so on and so forth. There are English speakers there as well. How do you find international groups that cater to people in those countries. All right. There's also a large English speaking Asian community as well. Indians, Pakistanis, um, Malaysians, especially Malaysians, Thailand people, Singaporeans, huge English speaking community. Filipinos, huge speaking communities. Filipinos, especially, they are massive in the knowledge industry. Filipinos, people from Hong Kong, people from Singapore, people from Malaysia, people from Indonesia, and then Koreans and Vietnamese and so on and so forth. There are a lot of massive English speakers, and you can actually enter into those markets by collaborating with those people on those platforms. Right? You can actually create a simple virtual summit. I'm using StreamYard. I think there's a referral link at the bottom. If you click on something, if you click on the description of this YouTube video, you'll see a referral link. Sign up on StreamYard. Sign up for the free trial if you want to test it out and see how it works, so that you can actually do what I'm doing. I'm using StreamYard right now to stream into YouTube. You can stream to multiple platforms. You can have multiple speakers come up with you. You can use this to design your entire virtual summit experience. All right. And on the back of it, sell something on Seller. People from those countries can buy stuff on Seller. All right. Be in the rooms, create summits, masterminds, groups. You cannot just rely on only your Nigerian audience. You need to be in the rooms with such people. Go on Eventbrite, look at events, attend the event, connect with the speakers, ask them, can you collaborate on your next event? You want to bring them to come and speak to Nigerians in Nigeria, and you want to, eventually also have them promote to their own audience. You collaborate, you have two audiences, they're selling to your market, you're selling to their market, you see which one works. So be in the rooms, pay attention to the news, see what's happening, and don't think in terms of scarcity mindset. Don't think in terms of things are going to shit, trouble is happening, we are all doomed, hell is basically on earth right now. Think in terms of this particular thing that has happened. What's the opportunity here for me? This particular thing that has happened, what is it telling me, and where can I find opportunities? If you're not sure, copy the news in the link. Donald Trump has imposed 154% tariff in China. ChatGPT. I'm a Nigerian in Nigeria selling knowledge products. I sell ebooks, I sell masterclasses. How does this particular thing affect me? And what can I do about it? What are the opportunities for me? Ask if you don't know. Ask if you don't know. All right. Pay attention to the news, and then finally make progress. It's not enough to just hear and hear and hear. You also have to do and do and do. The only way for you to get results is to do. Yes, you have attended this particular webinar. That's fantastic. What are you going to do with the information I've shared? I know that you are here, you're happy to be here, you like listening to a Deering talk. That's fantastic. But what are you going to do what the Deering says? That's the most important thing. That's why I'm doing this for you. That's why today, instead of me to be out with the kids, having a nice picnic out, I decided to stay at home and prepare for you. And I'm sweating in this place and I'm sharing with you. Why? Because I understand that action is much more important than just having a fantastic time listening to somebody ramble away. And I want your testimonials. I want your testimonials. I want you to be able to say, this is what I've achieved. I don't want you to just be another class that you attended and spent a lot of money and you did nothing about. I want you to look back on this particular class and say, thanks to the Global Business Masterclass, thanks to the check-in, I was able to achieve X, Y, and Z. In 2025, this is what I achieved thanks to attending this particular class. That's what's most important to me. All right. So I hope that you've been able to get that, and I hope that you can do something with that. I think I'm basically done. So the next thing I want to share with you right now is, how do you then take action? Your strategic roadmap for the next 90 days, for the next 3 months, what can you do? One, you can pick a new global income goal. If the old one was too daunting, too scary, because it was like huge for you, you can pick a new income goal for the next 90 days. Choose a skill to deepen, a skill that aligns with your goals to deepen. It can be something you already have that you want to build competence in. Remember, I shared your level of competence. You want to build competence in. Or it can be something brand new that you want to have expertise on in the next 90 days. So you can be say, okay, in the next 90 days, I'm going to learn all there is to learn about how to build dashboards on Power BI. I want to have that skill. to be able to build dashboard on Power BI, so that if I start talking about data on LinkedIn and somebody contacts me on LinkedIn to ask me, hey, can you help me? I saw you are talking about data. Can you help us please build a dashboard? How much do you charge? And I decided I want to charge them $500. I would be confident enough in my competence to be able to charge them that and build them a dashboard using Power BI. Somebody comes and says, oh, we're a new tech startup and we want to pitch for $100,000 in this particular foundation or this particular venture capitalist platform, but we need to have a dashboard. We don't know how to do it. Can you please help us to create a dashboard? These are our data. We don't know how to create dashboard. In a few clicks on Excel, in a few clicks on Power BI, you can actually design one. It will not take you more than 20 minutes to do. I have done it over and over and over again. I've been creating dashboard for weeks. For weeks, pivot tables and dashboards, I've been doing them for weeks because I want to build competence. And I've realized that it really just takes a couple of clicks, but you need to know what to click and you need to know what to look out for. That's just all it takes. And you can learn how to build dashboards on YouTube or any of the links that I shared with you during the Global Business Masterclass in the list of certifications and trainings you can do for free. All right. So choose a skill to deepen. Choose a visibility platform to dominate, just one. Say, okay, I'm going to dominate on YouTube. I'm going to dominate on LinkedIn. I'm going to dominate on TikTok. Just choose one and focus on that one for the next 90 days. Then offer something with a USD price, even if it's to Nigerians, offer it with a USD price. All right. Even if it's $5. If 100 people buy in the next 90 days, that's $500. How much is $500 in Naira now? I don't know how much. I think it's like 750,000 Naira, I think, in the next 90 days. It's not so bad. It's not so bad at all. You have made back your investment in Global Business Masterclass over and over again. All right. So offer something with the USD price. You can set USD prices on Seller. You don't need to have a business yet. You don't need to have built an international business yet. You don't need to have registered your business in America or the UK first for you to start earning in USD. So if that's your excuse, that's a very flimsy excuse. That your book that you publish, you can actually sell it on Seller for the $5 or for the $3. For your $3, you focus on selling to 100 people over the next 90 days. You make your $300. Clean your hand. Abby? So that's it. And then go hard on your marketing. Go hard on your marketing. In fact, the next 90 days, as you're building your skill and capacity, you should also be building your marketing and sales. Go hard on your marketing. Then learn to collaborate internationally. I shared that in the previous slide before. I'm sharing it again. Learn to collaborate internationally and intentionally. And brand identity is more important than ever. Brand identity is very important. Who are you? But beyond brand identity, and brand recognition is also important. Brand recognition is very important as well. And then most importantly is brand association. You don't want to be associated with people that talk anyhow. You don't want to be associated with people that spew nonsense on their social media and then they can tag you or you are in the same flyer with them. You have to be mindful of such things. If you notice, I've recently reduced how much speaking engagement I get. Sometimes I will ask who else is going to be on this your thing. And if they mention certain names that I don't want my brand to be associated with, I'll tell them, sorry, I'm sorry, I cannot attend. I cannot speak because I don't want to be on the same flyer with so and so person because I don't want my brand to be associated with that person. Because sometimes when people see the flyer with all the faces, they will think all of you are the same. But if it's somebody that their values don't align with yours, you do not want to have anything to do with them. All right. You don't want to be so desperate for speaking engagements that you sully your brand. Then maintain a certain level of mystery about you and your brand. I put this there because it was the last thing I put on this slide because people tend to overshare so much on social media because they want to build engagement. While it's okay to share certain personal stories, it's not everything you need to share. And it's not every conversation that you need to lend your voice to. It's not every conversation you need to lend your voice to. Not every trending matter that you need to contribute. People don't need your take on anything. They'll be fine without your take. Trust me, they'll be absolutely fine without your take. They don't need your take. I'm telling you. You don't need to talk about Labubu and whether people are wasting money on Labubu or not. It's not your business. You don't need to talk about whether your president is doing something or not. You don't need to talk about whether somebody has married a second wife or whether it's good or whether it's not. Certain things don't concern you. All right. Maintain an air of mystery about yourself, about your brand, so that people will not see you and finish, according to how we say in Nigeria. People don't become so over familiar with you that they test you, right? You don't see Edirin Edewo in argumentative conversations on social media. Why? Because you can't test me. You don't know where you want to test me from. You don't know where to poke me from because you don't know me that much. I may come and share a lot, but you realize that when you want to start sharing and looking for trouble, there's nowhere to poke. It's all protected. Maintain an air of mystery. People who would eventually pay you top box, they appreciate that mystery. They appreciate that you are like this. You keep your mouth shut. You don't talk about any and everything. You don't share conversations in your DMs as screenshots on your social media. You don't do that. It's not everything that happens in your life that you post on your WhatsApp stories or your social media stories. You don't. All right. Also understand that the world is becoming more globalized and cultures are beginning to spill into other people's cultures. So certain things like going around and filming somebody else's child without their consent, for example, those kinds of things, you don't know who's watching. So you want to be very, very aware of certain things. It's not everybody's DMs that you slide into. You have to be mindful of those things as well. Whether you're male or female, it's not everybody that you want to be making advances towards. Okay, because you don't know who you're talking to and who they know. All right. So be very mindful about maintaining an air of mystery is very important. From this side of our world, we tend to be oversharers, but we have to be very careful and very mindful, especially when you are building an international brand. You don't share everything with your clients as well. Don't share personal details to your clients because some people are your clients, but they may also turn against you when time comes. Okay, so you have to be very mindful of such things. I wanted to share that quickly. So let's recommit to our goals, our global business goals for the year. Are you still committed to going global? Are you still committed to going global? Anybody? There are how many people now? Quite a number of people, dozens of you here. Are you still committed to going global? Let me know in the comments. Put an emoji, put a yes in the comments that you are still committed to going global. And on the back of that, what's your one goal for the next 90 days? What is that one goal for your next 90 days? So I can see a couple of people saying yes, 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 that's great. I'm happy that you're committed to going global. But what are you committed to doing? What's the one goal? What's the one goal that you want to achieve? Is it that you want to get your book published internationally? Is it that you want to launch an offer off of the back of your book? Is it that you want to finally get visibility on Google? Is it that you want to finally have done 30 posts on LinkedIn? Is it that you want to have gone live every week? Is it that you want to have started your YouTube channel or your podcast? Is it that you want to have launched your masterclass or you want to have done your first virtual summit? Is it that you want to have gotten your first speaking engagement on an international platform? Is it that you want to have gotten invited to an international podcast that exposes your visibility? Remember that I talked about the 6 levels of capacity. Your ability to say yes to opportunities is dependent on your level of capacity. If you are still shaking and doing like this when opportunities arise, it means that you haven't built competence. But confidence comes from repetitive actions that lead to competence. All right. Because I can see a lot of people say yes in the comments and yes in the comment. That's great. Somebody says that their one goal for the next 90 days is to do a masterclass. And I'm going to hold you to it. Bridget, I'm going to hold you to it. You might be surprised that I will email you and say, "Hi, it's 90 days. Have you done your masterclass?" Right? So someone says, "I want to relaunch my course and intensify marketing and positioning as an authority in the education space. I also want to get featured on the radio, TV, magazine." And it's so easy to do. Reach out. You have magazines, you go and look for This Day magazine, look at their contact us, reach out to them. "Hey, my name is so and so and so. I'm so so and so. And this is what I have been able to achieve. How do I get a feature in a column in your magazine or in your newspaper?" Or reach out to radio and say, "Hey, um, can I come speak on a segment in your radio station? What time are you free?" They are always looking for people to interview on TV and on radio, constantly looking for people. And you are one of those people. Every time I've been featured, I had to ask, like, "Does anybody know any radio station that I can speak at?" I asked my community, I asked on social media, people like, "Oh, yes, I know somebody that works in this particular radio station. Let me connect you." And the person is always very happy. They say, "Oh, thank you. We're looking for somebody that can come and talk about this particular thing, this program." Or newspaper. "Does anybody know anybody that works in a newspaper?" You'll be surprised. People will know somebody, and then that's how you get connected. If you don't ask, the answer will always be no. All right. If you don't ask, the answer will always be no. So you have to learn to ask, and you have to learn to be committed to your goals. Now, I'm going to offer an opportunity that I've never done and probably will never do ever again. Um, I do VIP days for my clients, mostly my coaching clients that eventually want to have an intensive session with me. And my VIP days are £1,000 because I live in the UK, right? However, I know that not everybody has the opportunity to be able to, or the capacity to be able to shell £1,000 just like that. So I'm going to open up a 95% discount for 5 people only, who want to take me up on a VIP day for 90 minutes to 180 minutes. That's 1.5 hours to 2 hours. What we want to do in this VIP day is one simple thing: clarify, design, launch your business once and for all. You're committed to your goals. You said yes to your commitment, right? And you have your one goal that you want to accomplish. And you know that, okay, you're probably a little bit shaky on the how. Yes, I have shared certain things that you can do, but you definitely want a custom made plan that is for you, based on your skills, based on your expertise, based on your level of exposure, based on your social capital that you have, based on where you are in your business. And you want somebody to help you to clarify your goals and clarify your skills, to design your offer and to launch your global business once and for all. I'm not going to make you open a business with Go Nomad. I'm not going to do that with you. I'm going to help you with tools that you already have access to clarify, design, and launch your global business. Now, if this is something that you want to do, let me put that up here. All right. Sign up for my VIP day with me. So that's the link there. idiriadewo.seller.com/commitment. So instead of £1,000, you get to pay just £50. And it's only for 5 people, unfortunately, because I cannot take more than 5 people at this point. I have quite a number of coaching clients and new coaching clients who just joined again, and those who are starting up again. So there's only so much I can do. So only for 5 people. Once your payment is successful, you'll be automatically redirected to my calendar to book your VIP session. And you also receive an email within 24 hours with my brand pivot and growth strategy prompt template. So I designed a template. If you attended the last webinar that I did, I designed a template, a chat GPT prompt with over 30 prompts to help you to pivot your brand and to grow your business. All right. This is a prompt that I use for myself. I use for my business that enabled me to stay away from Facebook and Instagram and still have a valid business that is still running. I use the prompt to help me to create a strategy program to help me to pivot my brand, and then build a growth strategy for my business within 24 hours. So I'm going to be giving access to only those people who are going to be working with me. I'm not going to give this to everybody. You can't buy it, unfortunately. You can't say, oh, I want to buy this pivot template on its own. Sorry, I don't sell it. It's something I give to people that I'm working with one-on-one. So if you want to get access to that, simply sign up for the VIP day. This thing is not going to be available ever again. I pained me, but I felt like it was necessary for people who are serious about working, because I want to see you get results. I really want to see you get results from the Global Business Masterclass. I promised myself that I wanted to get 50 people that will give me results this year from the Global Business Masterclass. So almost everything I've been doing so far has been strictly for people that have been attended the Global Business Masterclass or got the replay, because my goal is to get 50 results. We're halfway there with the number of testimonials I've gotten. I want to get more because we're halfway through the year. And that's why I'm doing all I can to help as many people as I can to begin to get results. So thank you to everybody who shared today. I got 4 testimonials today that I need to add to my repertoire. And hopefully with these 5 people that I get to work with, you would also get your own testimonials. I'm going to add that to my repertoire. But beyond these 5 people, those of you who have attended this particular webinar today, will take what I have done, do something with it, and hopefully I get to hear from you and you share your testimonials with me. I will continue to communicate with you on the Global Business Masterclass Telegram channel. If you're not on the Telegram channel, maybe because you bought the replay, you can simply email me and I will add you to the Telegram channel. I'll send you the Telegram channel link so that you can join, because I put up information there for members from time to time. All right. So someone says, I can't copy. Oh, okay. Let me do this. I'll see if I can copy it out and post it in the comments. All right. See if I can post it in the comment. I don't know if it will work. Oh, it worked. Oh, yay. Okay. So there it is. Again, someone's asking I should drop my email. This is my email. edirin@edirinedewo.com. That is my email as well. So you can also get access to that. So awesome. So I'm glad that we did this today. I believe, okay, I still have one more slide that I said, don't let the world change while you remain the same. Don't let the world change while you remain the same, because the world is changing. And the only people who stay the same are usually trees. The only beings who stay the same are trees. We are not trees. We are meant to move. The world is changing and we have to change along with it. The world is going into a global dominated space. You cannot afford to still be the light of your kitchen cabinet. You cannot be the salt of the pot of your own pot of soup when you are called to be the salt of the earth. You cannot be the light of your pot of your kitchen cabinet when you're supposed to be the light of the world. You are not meant to be in one place. When God created the earth, he did not create Nigeria and America. He did not draw lines on the earth when he created it. We were meant to multiply, fill the earth, subdue it, have dominion. There were no countries when we were given that mandate. So we shouldn't allow where we were born, our present environment to dictate how much influence we can have. We shouldn't allow the space and the circumstances by which we were born to keep us restricted and to prevent us from shining our light. Matthew 6:33 says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good deeds. How do you let your light shine when you keep hiding it under a bushel and you refuse to put it out there? You refuse to cultivate the gift and the talent that you have been bestowed upon. You refuse to build competence to be able to multiply what you have. You refuse to have expertise because you're terrified of being judged by people. But everybody starts off at ground zero. Everybody starts off at stage 1. Everybody starts off as 0 followers, as 0 email subscribers, as 0 people. And we eventually build. Nobody falls on the top of the mountain. We all climb it. So you have to climb it. You have to do the work. I'm hoping that I'll be able to do more and more live YouTube videos like this soon, beyond just members of GBM, but just to continue resume what I used to do on Facebook, but on YouTube at this point in time, and share more because there's so much I've been studying and reading and writing, and so much I want to share. I'm just trying to find the right time because I'm so busy. Nobody told me that having to go to school and having to work at the same time like is mind blowing. But I'm learning to find my footing. And as soon as I'm able to, I will start doing this more frequently. However, you can always join my WhatsApp channel where I share um 10-minute master classes. I think I've done like 13 or 14 master classes on WhatsApp. You can just scroll through from the top and just start listening to them. None of them are more than 10 minutes. There are some that are short as 6 minutes and others as long as about 9 minutes. But they are all 10 minutes and below. So you can basically spend maybe an hour, watch as much as you can, or just watch like two or three and just be going through. All right. There's not much content on the WhatsApp channel. I don't post so much content. It's just me. So it's not like you see comments and comments. It's just me posting valuable content on the WhatsApp channel. So join it. It's WhatsApp, so you can easily see the updates. Turn on notifications as well, so that when I post, you can get updates on it. Okay. So I'm glad that I did this with you. I feel at peace because I've wanted to do this for a long time. I think I've been promoting this since the beginning of June or so. I've wanted to do this for a long time. I'm glad I did it. My conscience is clear. And I hope that you actually listen to this for the sake of people who came late and sake of people who couldn't join for some reason because the link changed at some point. I will leave this up overnight, but I'm not sure how long it will stay because of the things that I said. I don't want YouTube to ban me. All right. So I have to take it down eventually. But please, please, and please take advantage of the opportunity that I shared for the VIP day, right? And sign up and let's work together and help you to craft the rest of your 6 months masterclass. And if you have any questions, I think I'll take like one question and then call it a day. If you have any further questions, just ask me in the Global Business Mastermind, um, Global Business Masterclass Telegram group. Ask me there. I'll be happy to answer. All right. Jamil says his one goal is to increase his US LLC visibility and offer a lot of offers through his agency. Fantastic, that's great. Don't let the money waste. Don't let the money waste at all. All right. Definitely work on getting international clients, people who pay you. I've had people that pay me up to $2,000 for a service, right? And it basically more than pays for my business, right? So yeah. So Abdul Latif is asking for anybody that knows anyone that he trains teachers on using technology to enhance learning. That's great. Are you training American teachers? So beyond training Nigerian teachers, are you training Ghanaian teachers? Are you training Cameroonian teachers? Are you training South African teachers? Are you training Egyptian teachers? Are you looking into those markets? Are you training UK teachers? Because I can tell you one thing for free. They don't know. They do these trainings as well. My lecturers, I'm a master's student. My lecturers are still doing training. My lecturers still struggle with how to turn on the desktop in the class to be able to share their slides. Are you training them? So look at those opportunities, right? Abdulaziz says I've been complacent for some time about my global business. The fire has been rekindled. Time to get to work. Thank you so much, VC, for the session. Thank you for the session. Thank you. Elsewhere. Awesome. Pastor Femi said the softwares Manus and Mani, how good are they for writers? I'm not sure. I haven't tried it. So I wouldn't know. Yeah, awesome. McCarthy Mukoro says for the VIP class, drop your email for the VIP class. I have dropped my email, so if you scroll up, you might see it. There it is on the screen. That's my email. And the link to the registration page is right there on the screen. Seller.com/commitment, which I also pasted in the comments as well. Okay, great. Awesome. So thank you again to everybody who's been here. I really appreciate you. I spent a lot more time than I would, although I started a little earlier. But thank you for being here. If you came late, watch the replay from the beginning. It is very helpful. And if you have any questions, send me an email. Sign up for the VIP day. And also remember to join my WhatsApp channel as well. My WhatsApp channel is idiodo.com/WhatsApp. My name, surname.com/WhatsApp. And you'll be able to join the WhatsApp channel. All right. Thank you so much again for listening. Also, remember to get the audit list. I forgot to put that up for those of you who joined late. Get the audit checklist to audit your goals and to audit your activities for the year. It's free. You don't need to pay for it. It's easily downloadable. You don't need to fill a form for it as well. bit.ly/gbm-audit-checklist. All right. Thank you again for being here. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And I will see you later.
Alright guys, listen, my name is Ezekiel Olanio. I am an affiliate business consultant. That's not the point. The point of this video is for me to tell you something incredible that happened. Sometimes last year, December last year, I attended the goal setting session organized by Edwin Edewo. I had a particular financial goal in mind for the whole of 2021, but in less than 3 months, somebody said 3 months, in less than 3 months, I was able to make 7 figures and still counting, right? Recently, I attended a physical event in Lagos, you know, which are some people, incredible folks, and guess what? It was matched. The soap was premium. The soap was premium, and I can't wait to start, you know, I've started taking action already though, so you guys should just expect some incredible results. So whatever Edwin tells you to do, please just do it, because that woman, she sabi, she too sabi this thing.